Hello and welcome back. Is your PC getting slow or running out of space? Today we will explore one of Windows' most underrated built-in tool, Disk Cleanup. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what it does, when and how to use it, the levels and goals of its application, some hidden tips most users might not know, and the difference it has with disk defragmentation in storage sense. Stay tuned. Windows Disk Cleanup is a built-in utility that helps free up storage space by removing unnecessary files, like temporary data, system logs, and cached files. It's introduced in Windows 98 and is still present in later Windows, including Windows 10 and Windows 11. As its name says it all, it scans for files that are no longer needed and lets users safely delete them. We need disk cleanup because clutter builds up over time. Temporary files, logs, and update leftovers can take gigabytes of space, ultimately compromising PC's efficiency. Cleaning them frees up storage, improves performance and stability. We need to use it when we feel the Windows is slow for unknown reasons, or when PC is running out of space, or after uninstalling large apps or games, or after even major Windows updates, and occasionally as part of maintenance, like monthly maintenance. How do we access it? Well, we have three ways to access it, especially here, for instance, in Windows 11. One way to access it is to press on Start or Window button, then type Disk Cleanup in search area. This here opens it as a standard user, while Open as Administrator opens it with administrator privilege. Here, Open File Location opens where the executable file is located. The second way to access it is to press on Start button again, then go to All Programs, then Windows Tools, and here we have Disk Cleanup. Double-click opens it as a default user, while right-click opens another context menu, from which is included Open as Administrator. The third way to access it is through Run tool. We open the Run tool by pressing on Windows and R, and then we type Clean MGR, Clean Manager, and OK. And this will open it as a default user. But if you want to open it as administrator, then we should open Command Prompt as administrator, and then write Clean MGR, and then hit Enter. By default, the selected drive is where the Windows is installed, mostly the C drive. If the drive where the Windows is installed is different, you should select that one. Well, accessing it is similar in Windows 10 as well. Press Start button and type Disk Cleanup in search area. The first option opens it as a standard user, and the second option opens it as administrator. The third option opens the location of the executable file. We can right-click and make desktop shortcut for easy access if we want, of course. You can also access it from Start, and then to All Programs, then to Windows Administrative Tools. Then here we have it. Similarly, use of the Run tool in the C prompt as administrator is the same as the way we saw it for Windows 11. Whichever way you feel comfortable, you can access it. As we have seen already, there are two levels of disk cleanup. One is disk cleanup as a standard user, and the other is disk cleanup as administrator. Let's see their differences. When this cleanup is run as a standard user, the tool looks like this. It has one tab with several options in it. It's actually sufficient for routine cleanup of user-specific system cache, temporary internet files, temporary files, recycle bin contents, thumbnails, downloaded program files, and system and application log files. It cannot delete certain type of system files which need administrative privilege. When this cleanup is open as administrator, it looks like this. We have additional more option here and more categories which we will get back to after a bit. Here, pressing cleanup opens control panel that lets us remove programs we don't want in the system. We can also delete older system restore points and shadow copies by clicking here. If we agree to this, all previous restore points will be permanently deleted, leaving the most recent restore point intact. As to the categories, disk cleanup as administrator gives more options than as a standard user. We can access and delete system files that are otherwise protected, such as downloaded program files, system error memory dump files, Windows Defender files, temporary internet files, delivery optimization files, old Windows updates and previous Windows installations, recycle bin contents, thumbnails, and system error and debug related files. In both cases, be it as a standard user or as an administrator, personal data and essential system files are preserved. But one thing must be clear here. Whatever is deleted in this process does not go to recycle bin. It's permanently deleted. It cannot be reclaimed. Which level of cleanup we should choose? For what purpose? Well, it totally depends on the goal we want to achieve through the cleanup process. If what we want from the cleanup is just to do a routine maintenance, then we can do it as a standard user. But if we want to do the cleanup to fix persistent disk space errors, or when disk is critically low and want to fix that, or after major Windows updates, installations, or system upgrades, or troubleshooting storage-related issues, it's better to do it as administrator. What do disk cleanup categories represent? Let's see them one by one. We have Windows Update Cleanup, which consists of old update files no longer needed. We have Microsoft Defender Antivirus, which consists of temporary and leftover files, which are actually safe to remove. And we have downloaded program files. These are ActiveX controls and Java applets from Internet Explorer, which are mostly obsolete. We can view the files to confirm. In this case, it's empty. We have temporary internet files, which are cached web pages stored for faster browsing, and they are safe to delete. We have Windows error reports and feedback dump files. These are logs created after crash, useful for debugging, but safe to delete if you don't need them. DirectX shader cache. These are graphics cache files, and deleting forces Windows to rebuild them. And we have delivery optimization files. These are cached update files used for peer-to-peer sharing. Here we have device driver packages. These are old drivers stored in the system, which can safely be removed. In language resource files, these are extra language packs you don't use. And here is the previous Windows installations. This consists of folders from an older version of Windows kept when system is upgraded, allowing rollback to the previous version. Here we have recycle bin. It represents files you deleted but haven't permanently removed. We can view the contents by clicking here. We have got the chance to restore those we want to keep. And here we have temporary files. general temporary data created by apps. And finally, we have thumbnails. These are preview images for files. Windows can regenerate them. The bottom line is disk cleanup is safe, but always review the categories before deleting. The Cleanup System Files button unlocks deeper cleanup, including old Windows installation, even if you started it as a default user. Be cautious. How often should it be used? Well, monthly cleanup is enough for most users, but heavy users or those with small SSDs may want to run it more often. Disk cleanup is useful for manual one-time cleanups, especially on older systems or when specific files need removal, while Storage Sense provides a continuous, automated, and modern approach to maintain disk space, making it ideal for users who want Windows to manage storage with minimal intervention. Defragmentation is the process of reorganizing the data on a hard disk drive so that related pieces of data are stored together in contiguous blocks. Doing so improves performance, extended hard disk life, and optimizes storage, makes file management better, and backup faster. Disk cleanup removes unnecessary files to free up space, and disk defragmentation reorganizes the remaining data for more efficient access. When performed together, these processes maximize storage efficiency, optimize system performance, and reduce file access time on traditional hard drives. Both are complementary. Cleaning files first can make defragmentation faster, and defragmenting after cleanup can maximize system efficiency. Once we have selected what to delete, let's now let the tool do the cleaning and see the memory gain on C drive here on this PC. As you can see, the free space on C drive is 350 GB. We are about to gain about 15 GB after the cleanup process. Click OK. Confirm it. This process takes some time. We need to be patient. After cleanup is complete, we can see the free space on C is around 361 GB. It's a little less than promised. Why is that? This occurs due to either disk cleanup bug, misreporting, or protected files that cannot be immediately removed, or dynamic recreation of temporary files, or it is potential inclusion of files only deletable on reboot. So does that mean disk cleanup might be unable to delete some files or folders? Of course. Disk cleanup sometimes fails to remove certain Windows Update files, especially if they are locked, corrupted, or stored in a special system folder. In those cases, you may need to manually clear the Windows Update cache or delete folders like Software Distribution folder and Windows Old to fully reclaim the space. So, what are the best practices when utilizing disk cleanup? Do regular maintenance. Schedule a cleanup task weekly or monthly depending on your usage. Backup critical data. Always back up important files before undertaking significant system cleanups. Combine with other tools. Use disk cleanup alongside defragmentation, antivirus scan, and disk health check. Use disk cleanup before major updates. Clean your system before installing large updates to minimize storage and avoid conflicts. Understand what files are being deleted. Carefully review what options you select during the extended cleanup to prevent deleting essential files. Cleaning up old Windows versions. If you have recently upgraded or performed a Windows installation, removing previous versions can free significant space. However, ensure you no longer need to revert to the previous version. Avoid running admin cleanup casually. Be careful. Always combine with storage sense, especially if you are using Windows 10 or Windows 11. Finally, taking the recycle bin option in disk cleanup is safe as long as you have verified its contents and don't need any files currently in it. If uncertainty exists, leave it unticked. So that's Windows Disk Cleanup, a simple, safe, and effective built-in tool. Try running it today and share how much space you managed to reclaim in the comments below. Share also if you discovered a hidden feature or tip I didn't mention. I hope you benefited. Thank you for your company.